Hi, my name's Clive Bates from Experimentus. I'm just going to give you a little talk about a pragmatic approach to improving your testing process. I'm going to break the talk into four key areas: to getting started, to get moving, learning your lessons, and then results. In today's economic climate, where companies are forced to look at cutting costs and improving efficiency, process improvement is a very important thing to consider now, because we're going to get good, valuable return on investment for little expenditure. There are two words I like to use in testing, both practical and pragmatic. And I think whenever we do a process improvement, we need to be both practical and pragmatic. We need to make sure that it's sensible and relevant to the work we're doing, and we're going to get some good return on the investment. So the first thing to understand is where you are currently as an organisation. What work are you doing now? What is effective and what is efficient and what is not so good? You also need to have a vision or an objective where you want to be in the future. We need to understand what problems you're having within the organisation and where you want to end up afterwards. What elements are you wanting to address? The getting moving is where you then have to develop a strategy for an implementation. How are you going to actually take this forward? What are the steps that you're going to look at? And you need to have a steady, clear strategy with clear steps put inside. They need to have checkpoints so you can monitor your progress. And I'll come on to metrics in a moment. The key element at this point is also to make sure that you have management commitment. Management commitment to making sure that they're going to provide you with the time and the funding to have this work completed. Having a sound strategy is then you then have to start looking at the actual process itself. And I actually developed this as a pyramid which is based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The first element is what I call the baseline, and you need to really understand where you are now before you can even move forward. From that, you need to get some more management commitment. Make sure that once a process is running, you're going to have a sponsor who's going to support, and make sure that if anybody is trying to ridicule what you're trying to do, that they will give you the support and the provision to make sure that the whole process continues to work. We need to then look at quick wins. What can you bring in within a period of, say, up to 3 months, with very little investment, but some great returns on that investment? And some examples could be things like template documentation or bringing in reviews. They don't take an awful lot of effort, but you get some great benefits from them. The next element is your test strategy. Above that, I bring in the people side, and above that, tools. Now, these are very loose sort of headings, and you can put whatever you want inside as detail. But you can't really bring in the tools before you get the people, and you can't bring in the peoples before you get a strategy. So there is a logical structure to this. Throughout, you'll need to have some metrics to check on your progress. And with metrics, you're only limited by your own imagination as to what you can and you can't report on. But the main concept with metrics is that they must be, keep them simple, keep them relevant, and explain what they mean. Too often you see organisations where they produce lots of metrics and people don't know what they're actually meaning, what they're trying to report on, and they've got no value to them whatsoever. So keep them simple, relevant, and explain them. The next step is learning from your lessons, or the post-project retrospectives. A key part in the work we do as testers is to learn from past experiences. What went well? What problems did we have in the past? And we need to make sure that as testers, we understand what we've done well, what problems we've got. And this is one of the things which we don't actually always need management commitment for. We can all look to try and improve the work that we've done, whether it be write a test strategy, write a test plan, write a test condition, whatever it may be. We can all look and say, how did we do that and how could we improve it next time round? Some other elements, however, like introducing test tools and test automation, obviously is going to require some funding from management. What I would do is create a questionnaire with open questions in it. You don't want to just get yes or no type answers. And these should be handed out to the testers before the project starts, so they know what you're going to be asking them at the end of the project, and also give them the opportunity to collect information throughout the life of the project, so that when you come to do your project retrospective, you have all the answers there in front of you. You're not relying on memories. To me, post-project reviews or project retrospectives are a bit like a school report. You're looking to say, how did you do that term, or how did you do that year? And it's no different. So we've been used to that sort of approach all the way through from our schools. The final part is results. Looking at the metrics. Metrics would need to be defined up front when you know what process improvements you're going to bring in, and you're going to have to monitor to see how you can measure in a tangible way whether you actually met those improvements or not. So the metrics are very important here to make sure you've achieved what you set out to do. If you haven't, then you may need to go back, revisit what your objectives were or what the improvements were, and tweak them until you have received your objectives.